Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this three-part series on how to use the Chicago Manual of Style to create your paper. Now, we have a wide variety of types of students, one from just walked in the door from high school to someone who hasn't walked into the door for 30 years. We have some with lots of computer experience and some with none. So we're going to take this on a very basic level. If it's stuff you already know, let this reinforce what you already know. For those of you that are new at this, the greatest things about having these as recordings is you can stop and back them up and watch them over and over again as many times as possible to get you where you need to go. So, first off, we're going to start off with the basic formatting, how your paper should look. Please understand that while I am showing here an example paper of mine that I've printed, you usually want to start off with just a blank page, blank, nothing written on it, and everything else. And then what I want you to do is go up here to your toolbars. These are your toolbars right on the top. Go to layout. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one over. Click on it. Now, one of the first things we're going to do is set up your margins. If you're using a current level of Windows, your margins are already set. And they are already set to what we use in the Chicago style. It means a 1-inch margin, and a margin is simply the space between your paper and your words. So we're going to go an inch down and an inch left and right. Now, normally it's going to be normal. That's why it's called normal. So if your paper does not have this, go ahead and click on it. It'll set you up with 1-inch margins. Easiest thing ever. After you hit layout and select 1-inch margins, go up here to home and click on it. And you're going to come down here to your font and font size. A font is simply the style that your text is going to be. Now, for the newer versions of Word, it may not automatically default to the Times New Roman font. For Chicago style, Times New Roman font and font size 12. First, you're going to come down here and you're going to find Times New Roman, and you're going to be regular. Just click on it. You don't want anything fancy happening. We're going bare basics for now. Since you've picked your font, here's your font size. And your font size can adjust wildly from many different things. For your basic paper, we're going to click 12 as the font size because that's what's required. 1-inch margins, Times New Roman, and size 12. Next, we're going to do line spacing under the paragraph settings. For my computer users, if you're using a mouse pad out here in your page anywhere, I believe it's a right click. And for those of us using the touchpad like I am, it's 2 clicks. You're going to pull up this secondary window. You're going to see everything is grayed out. Go down here to the one that lists paragraph. Please pick on paragraph. It'll come up. What you want to have is indentation, right and left, and special. All these should be 0 and none. When you get down here to spacing, this is the area we want to work with. Before and after should be set at 0. Now, because the text, the meat of your paper, needs to be double spaced. If you click on these, single, you can do multiple things, but we want to do double spaced. And if you look in the window here, it'll give you an example of what it looks like. One more thing before we close out of the paragraph tab. This here. Don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. This is important for having your paper look professional. You already have your paper set up. If it has extra spaces between the paragraphs, it looks like you're cheating. So let's not do that. So go ahead and click there, and when you're all done, please remember to click OK. So there, bam, OK. Now, we have our basic formatting. We have our margins, our font and font size, and we've gone to double spacing and not adding a space between the paragraphs of the same style. Very basics for a paper. Now you can get to writing. But first, we need to know what we're here to see. What did you write, and what do you want me as your professor to look at? That, of course, comes to be the title page. And as you see, I've shrunk my text a little bit to show you what it normally looks like when you present your title page. There are going to be some little nuanced differences. Oh, and always, you'll hear me say this more than one time. This is the way Chicago style, the current version, is supposed to be set up. However, your professor might want you to do a couple of different things. Ask your professor and they will tell you directly. So first off, the Chicago style begins with a title page. And it's basically, it lists, just like when you open up a book, it has the first page where we have the title, who wrote it, and what we're doing here. Now, I'm going to zoom up just a little bit. All right. So, if you haven't noticed, all of this is centered. Let me shrink down a little bit. All of the text is centered on the page. Now, the way you do that is just click anywhere, have the cursor be wherever, and come over here to this. You can either align to the right, align left, align right, or center. And center is what you want to do. So, for example, if this was not centered and it was just wherever, and I wanted it to be centered in page, you can just click here, and it centers it. Very easy. Very straightforward. You center it all, and then you get to typing. Now, before we move on from this point, I want you to see how I have this set up. You're going to come down about a third of the way of the top of your paper, and you're going to type in your title. I split mine up because I think it looks more professional. Your mileage may vary. But print it out or type it out, and then if you didn't already bold it, come over here, right under where you did the font and font size is bold, italics, and underlined. And when you click on the strong B, it makes it bold. Your title must be bold. We have to see it to know what we're talking about. Okay, and then you're going to come down to the bottom 2/3 of the page, and here is where you have usually 3 or 4 pieces of information that you have to include. First, centered is your name. No nicknames, no oddball, whatever. Put in your legal name. Bam, bam, bam. Mine is Michael A. Smith, so there you go. The second line is going to be, what class is this for? For me, it was American Christian Heritage 530, so I wrote it in there. If you're taking church history, it's going to be HY 210, church history. Okay, and then right after that, my professor didn't want their name put into it, but I want mine in there. You're going to put Professor Michael A. Smith or Professor Smith, no nicknames or anything else. And finally, the date you turned it in, not the date it was due. The date you turned it in. If you turned it in late and you have the date that it was due on there, it could be considered a falsehood. So just be honest, put it in there, and be good to go. Now, as you can see, it's all centered, and this is where it's going to be double spaced in between, so we can actually see what we're looking at. Okay, now we are going to move into, very briefly on this last part of this first video, onto page numbers. Now, as you can see here, there are no page numbers on your title page. It's the front page. Your page number starts on the actual page of your text. This is your introductory paragraph, and so on and so forth. So, now, what you're going to do to insert page numbers, just click anywhere on your paper, go up here back to your command keys, and you're going to click on the Insert tab. It's the second one in, next to the Home. Click on Insert, and then you're going to go all the way over to this side to Page Number, and click on it. Next, drop down the page number symbol, and it's going to show you everything you have. Now, mine is already set up for the way I want it, but now I'm going to tell you for Chicago style what we're going to do. Okay, first off, You're going to go to the top of the page because this is your first page. It needs to be up on the top. No Smith 1, no nothing, just the number, and that's it. For Chicago style, we don't need to know who you are. We're reading that from the title page. Okay, so just the number. So you're going to click here, and it's going to be the top of the page. It's called a header. The alignment, right or left, you want it on the right. So you're there, and you're going to click OK. Now, where it says here, show number on the first page. Your very first page is your title page. So you're going to leave that blank. You don't want it on that title page. Once you have that set up, you're going to go ahead and click OK. And then if we did it right, you'll have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and so on, and it'll continue numbering each additional page that you add, including blank pages if you have those in there. So here's our first lesson. Here's our first setting up of formatting, of a title page, and of page numbers. In our next video, we're going to cover main text formatting and creating footnotes and a couple of other things, and we're going to continue on. Please, if you have any questions, back it up a little bit, watch it again, and if you still have any questions, please shoot me an email, shoot me a text, and let me know what you think. Thanks, and be safe out there, guys.